I've been telling you for the longest that I don't like talking to you. I don't like what you did. It does not make me want you.
The life this mother was building ends in an instant the moment she vanishes, leaving friends and family just clinging to hope.
She was chasing her dream. This is something I would watch on TV, and now you're living it.
There was still the hope that she was alive, and that was the primary driving force, was trying to find her.
You are killing me!
Where's your emergency?
You are killing me!
Hello?
It was like having breadcrumbs from Tiffany's own mouth about what must have happened to her.
Hey, how are you, ma'am? Are you okay?
Yeah.
What's going on?
I can't say nothing. I can't.
Why can't you say anything?
He'll kill me if I say anything.
Guy 911, operator 35, where's emergency?
Yeah, my mom has been missing for more than 24 hours.
And you haven't had any contact with her?
She texted me yesterday, but that was like at 12, so I was asleep then. But after that, no one has heard from her.
It's early spring 2021, and 35-year-old Tiffany Foster Starks hasn't been heard from and hasn't been seen in over 24 hours. She never showed up for class at Georgia Military College, where she was studying criminal justice. She hasn't been in contact with her children or her sisters. So understandably, her loved ones are very concerned.
On March 1st, 2021, Tiffany Nicole Foster left her apartment at Creekside at White Oak off of Lakeside Way to go shopping. She sent a text message to her mother, and this is the last text message that she sent from her phone. On March the 2nd, Miss Foster did not report to her college class. Later that evening, she was reported missing to this agency.
She is a kind and loving person, beautiful inside and out. She's a mother of 3. She's my best friend. This has devastated our family. As you can imagine, no child should have to worry about where their mother is and the condition that their mother is in.
My granddaughter had called me and told me that her mom didn't come home. Something just came over me and said, call the police.
And is this in Noonan?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and how old is your mom?
Like 30-something.
Do you know what she was last wearing?
She had like a dress on.
Did she drive any kind of car?
Yes. She was driving a Nissan Altima.
And is this the first time that she's been missing?
Yes.
On March the 5th, Miss Foster did not show up at work for her next scheduled shift. On March 11th, 2021, Miss Foster missed a flight to Texas.
A deputy went out to their apartment at the Lakeside Apartments and took the initial report.
They actually spoke with Reginald Robertson, who is Miss Foster's boyfriend slash fiance at the time. They began to speak to her mother and also her best friend to determine where exactly she was.
When I got there, the police was already there, and I was really delirious and confused and didn't know what to do. And it was just like a nightmare.
I'm thinking, okay, well maybe she's tired of y'all or something, you know, maybe she wanna go and just have a mommy day, because she was very big on self-care and having her little days and outings and of that nature. So I was like, well, maybe she just went to vacation and decided to leave you guys or something. And she'll be back. Like it took me a minute, I guess, to really be like, okay, something must be wrong now.
Reginald went by Reggie. So according to him, he was there with the children. She leaves to go shopping. That's sometime in the morning.
Law enforcement has to determine, is this a woman who left of her own choice? Like, is this a woman who decided she had had enough, or she just needed a break and is going to come back?
She has 4 sisters, like, and a mom. Like, you have 3 kids, so you're not gonna just leave your children. She'd never leave her kids without unattended and not just say anything to any of us.
She liked to be on social media. When you see her on social media, there are pictures of her. She's always tending to pose and smile, and all that stopped.
She wanted to be in law enforcement. She was big on education altogether. Her goal was to buy her a house for her and her children. And that's what she was aiming for.
Yeah, she was definitely a hustler. So I seen her have a lot of jobs. Like, I was like, what can't you do?
When she walked in the room, everybody could be quiet or whatever. Even you could be doing something and she'll say something funny and just bust out, start laughing, and everybody looking and make everybody laugh. Yeah, she could make you laugh. You can be in your best or down moment. Tiffany can bring you out of it.
Yeah, her laugh was very contagious. It was so loud, like, and then she like threw her head back, like. So yeah, it was definitely a joy to be around her for sure.
At the time, Tiffany was working for the Henry County Sheriff's Department as a corrections officer. She also worked doing security for different businesses. She was a strong woman. She was not one to kind of take things quietly or lying down. She had a best friend that she spoke to every single day, multiple times a day. She did what she could for her family and her children, and kind of made the world go round for them. Tiffany kind of had a fraught relationship history. Her relationship with her prior husband was contentious at times, but they were able to maintain a friendship even after the marriage dissolved.
Tiffany and Reggie, they actually had met at a transitional center prison where she was a guard. The relationship moved into a romantic relationship that they ended up, moving in together at the apartments here in Coweta County.
Tiffany never told us how she met him. We did our investigation, but we were just letting her do her thing because we didn't want her to think we was judging her or anything like that. And, she seemed like she was happy. When they first met, their children got along. It was like one big happy family. To me, on the outside, seemed like he was a pretty good guy, and we was trying to give her a chance. She had just got out of the divorce, to find herself and give her the chance to be happy. He came to, outings, he brought his kids. We opened our arms to him because we wanted her to be happy.
Weeks before the public even heard about Tiffany's disappearance, detectives were actually speaking with her fiancé, then 44-year-old Reginald Robertson, aka Reggie. And there was something from that earlier conversation that drew attention.
He came in voluntarily for the polygraph and had agreed to speak with the detectives.
Now, what are we doing here today?
Oh, we're doing a polygraph test. I guess he's gonna ask me, I don't know, I guess if I have any knowledge of where my girlfriend is, or
Miss Tiffany.
Miss Tiffany, yes.
You are not under arrest, am I right?
Right.
When deputies originally responded that day, it was, we were really busy that morning and kids were getting ready for school. We woke up late and I had to take this car, and she was like, you just go on. And then, she just went to run errands and such. And so initially, the timeline just didn't make sense as far as when she left, why she left, if she left to run errands, if she left in the vehicle that, it was her only vehicle, her brand new vehicle.
How many hours did you sleep last night?
Off and on, I can't say, maybe 4.
Why so little?
Just worried about my fiance, what she had.
You last saw Tiffany Monday. When was that?
Monday, I was from like 12 to 1:30. It was me, her, and her daughter. She left out of the door, and I think I had to use the bathroom. I asked her daughter, I said, where your mama go? She said, I don't know. She had errands, she had to go run and do stuff anyway.
Oh, okay.
And she also knew that we need some groceries. So, I figured she was going to go do her errands and go get groceries and do whatever.
Do you know for a fact where Tiffany is now?
Oh.
Do you know for a fact where Tiffany's Ultima is right now?
No. How do I do that?
I don't know.
The polygraph was a simple request that, if he had nothing to hide, if he, was willing to cooperate and participate with law enforcement, then participate in the polygraph, which could help, establish whether or not he had been truthful up to that point.
You heard anything from Nissan yet?
No, not yet.
Well, they're pinging the car right now, okay?
You watch his police interview that was given after the polygraph, he's kind of kicked back, right? He's kind of casual, kind of acting like everything's fine and what are you talking about? And playing a little dumb, I would suggest.
Let's forget about the car. We got some inconsistencies in your story. What time was the last time you saw her on Monday?
I wasn't keeping up with the time. I don't know. It's I want to say somewhere around 11 to 2, 3, or 12. Maybe,
Okay.
I don't know, somewhere around
When
there.
you filed the original report, you said it was around 7:30 or 8.
Okay, I thought it was still morning time.
And now you're up to 12 and 1, and now you're up between 11 and 3. Narrow this down, Reggie.
I said that it was morning time. It was because that's when I left to go and take the kids to school.
Where did you go after you dropped the one off in high school?
Came on back to the house.
Was she there then?
Yeah, she was there and her daughter was there.
Where were you at when Tiffany left?
In the bathroom.
How long y'all been together?
About 3 years, 3.5 years.
Coweta County is a smaller community. It's a rural community and it's in the South. People are generally pleasant, cordial. That's the demeanor of the law enforcement in that community. And in fact, during the interview, that's how they start out.
Tell me about this Mr. Scott guy.
I don't know. All I know is Mr. Scott. That's all I know. And he been buying her a whole lot of extravagant gifts, you know, and then putting $300 in her pocket at the same time and gave her 5 gift cards, all of them was over $100. They still talk every day. She said they just friends. It's okay if you say so. I just know Mr. Scott. That's all I know. I know he works up there at the job where they used to work at.
So Mr. Scott was a prior person in Tiffany's life that, you know, she claims was a friend. Reggie obviously thought that there was some, you know, more to it than friendship. That relationship, we don't have any information to suggest it was anything other than what she alluded to in the conversations they had. We do know that there were some people that Reggie had, you know, relations with while he was with Tiffany. And so there were allegations of infidelity from both sides.
Reggie, right now is the time that if you got something to do with her being gone, or you know where she's at, because you done failed the out of a polygraph. And I can tell you why you failed it. You failed it because you didn't tell the truth.
I don't know where she at. I'm not lying.
He, of course, said, well, I don't know why I would have failed the polygraph. You know, can I take it again? Maybe I was just nervous.
Reginald's story was that Tiffany left of her own volition in her car. Tiffany's mother was able to give law enforcement some background into the nature of their relationship and kind of got the ball rolling for law enforcement to start looking at this less as a woman who ran off of her own choice and start looking at it from the perspective of something was done to her.
Reggie.
I don't know where she is.
Who's she seeing?
I don't know.
Did you get all pissed off with her and whoop up on her?
No, I ain't never got all pissed off and whooped up on her.
Reggie, are you seeing anybody else? Just tell me if you are. Who you screw around with ain't none of my business, but
Well, next thing, why you asking me?
because I'm gonna verify some stuff.
No, I ain't screwing nobody.
Did you call her after she left?
She ain't gonna answer to me.
But did you call her?
Did I call her? I know I text. I might have called her.
We don't fight about it. Only been together for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? It seems kind of short time frame. You know, we go back and forth and not speak to each other. We don't fight about it, you know. It brings all out.
I don't know. I catch her up in something.
When you say you catch her up, it's something, I mean, with another man? Or
talk to another man or something inappropriate or something.
When police interrogate anyone, they always are going to ask about the nature of the relationship. And he was forthcoming with some of the troubling details. He admitted that they would argue.
So Reginald Robertson explains to investigators that when he and Tiffany would get into these arguments, they would talk through the kids. For example, texting things like, tell your mom this, tell Reggie that, instead of speaking to each other like adults.
They had a very contentious relationship. I don't know that Tiffany was having actual infidelity or if she was engaged in inappropriate flirtations or talking to people about her feelings. They were not wholly committed to one another throughout the duration of their relationship. And that was definitely a point of contention for both of them.
First she said she ain't got nothing going on. I said, clearly you got something going on. Because you act different now. Here, you want to see my phone? There's nothing in my phone. I promise you that. That's me, you're a liar.
Now you gotta be honest, man. You can't tell me that it didn't infuriate you. It didn't just piss you off at no end on that day when that happened.
It did. It did.
So,
but not to no point we'll do that.
No, I mean,
this was small compared to I've been catching up with. Y'all may know something, y'all holding back.
If I know something, I'd know where she's at. I think you know more than you're telling me.
I don't know. You just told. You think I spent all these last couple days trying to see where the car is? If I know where the car is?
I've seen people do it before.
I think he was doing what he thought he needed to do to keep law enforcement from viewing him as a person of interest.
Here's the thing, man. I'm not pointing fingers, but the facts are she's missing. Been gone for 8 days now. And you failed a polygraph. It ain't looking good. I know it's draining on you. Because the woman you love ain't around. And you're gonna have to go out of your way to prove to me that you hadn't done something with her.
Let's recap for a second, okay? So there's accusations of infidelity and cheating, yes. But there's nothing to indicate that Tiffany has been injured or kidnapped. There's no crime scene. Yes, her car is missing, but there's no evidence of a struggle inside the apartment. And so at this point, there's not enough to charge Reggie with anything, let alone in connection with Tiffany's disappearance. This could all just be a big misunderstanding, sure. The evidence is just not saying much. That is until later that afternoon.
Nissan has a kind of tracking system that they were able to turn on and find the actual location of the vehicle. There wasn't any evidence of like a struggle that had occurred in the car or any acts of violence. As far as forensically speaking, the car was pretty clean.
Now it's found about 30 miles from where she lives in College Park, Georgia. Inside the car, they find her purse and her credit card. Those are clues in and of themselves because it does mean that this wasn't likely someone who just wanted to steal her things or they wanted to access her money. They would have taken the credit card.
When law enforcement went out there to Godby Road, they were able to get video surveillance and they were able to actually find when her car was dropped off in the middle of the night, early morning hours, March 2nd into the 3rd.
So you might think, good, here we have it. We can identify the two people, case closed. Well, in this particular case, the video is really not usable to identify the two people. Anybody could look at it and say, I have no idea who those two people are. How does this help law enforcement? So they now know, okay, there are at least two people who have something to do with the car.
In first, I felt I had a funny feeling or that I wasn't getting the attention that I wanted and I needed. But I would always, call or be up at the sheriff's office talking to the detectives, and we was out investigating on our own to help bring Tiffany home. We had a search team. It was called Searching for Tiffany. We would go out, pass out flyers, just canvassing all the areas up around here. So her locations of where she's been, we was out searching and passing out flyers all the time. Day, night, rain, sleet, snow, whatever. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I couldn't do anything. I was just eager and my spirit just wouldn't let me rest.
There was still the hope that she was alive. And that was the primary driving force, was trying to find her.
Yet another week goes by, there's still no sign of Tiffany. And look, Reginald Robertson hasn't been that much help to investigators at this point, but now he claims he has a tip.
Tell me, brother, what's going on? I mean, what? Your wife's missing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And some person named Lisa called. You said it's a relative.
I talked to Lisa. I called her.
Okay.
Somebody said that, said that the Foster Papa just seen her up here at Walmart.
Okay.
So I just hit the road flying to get up there.
He's speeding up the interstate. He's just like, oh yeah, no, my fiance's missing, and I got a tip that she's, you know, she's been seen, and I'm just flying up there to see what the case is.
So there were probably hundreds of tips that law enforcement received during the course of this investigation early on. There were people all over the state of Georgia that said they had seen Tiffany. Law enforcement, to their credit, ran each and every one of those tips down. Every single one of them was a fake lead.
Why don't you call us and let us know too, so we can...
I just hit the road. My mind just thinking, you know,
right,
I'm going 15 days. I'm just trying to get there.
No, I understand. I don't
know anything. I'm just sitting there every day, just waiting.
Right.
And don't hear nothing.
Yeah.
Nobody know nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I hear something, I'm just trying to jump.
That was just, I think, just him coming up with something on the fly that he could say at that moment to tell law enforcement that the reason he was speeding was because he was trying to follow up on a tip.
He's extremely nervous, and he keeps getting defensive, just trying to ask you normal questions. He's also not being very forthcoming with information.
So Tiffany has now been missing for more than 3 weeks. And this is where we come back around to that March 23rd news conference about Tiffany's disappearance. And this suggests that the case is a lot more urgent than we originally thought. And at one point, there was a reward put forward for information about her disappearance. It goes all the way up to $60,000.
There is some evidence that's been located that would lead one to believe that something has occurred, that there may have been some type of foul play.
You know, you see this type of stuff on TV and you think, you know, that couldn't happen to me. It could, because I never would have thought I would be here speaking on the behalf of my sister.
When was the last time, sir, that you heard from her, and what was that about?
When she left from home. She left me and her daughter at home. We haven't seen her, you know. For all we know, she was just going to go run errands and do some things, and she's gone, just like that.
His plea on camera is just so disingenuous. This is not the demeanor of someone who is concerned for the well-being or the location of their fiance. This was robotic, it was cold. That to me was a huge moment because he didn't want to be there. He was basically kind of coerced into being there by the family. He didn't want to speak. If he doesn't speak, it makes him look even worse.
Following the news conference, investigators request another meeting with Reginald Robertson. And yes, at this point, he seems generally cooperative, but there's something about him that seems off.
Have you spoken with anybody or anybody that would lead to anything in this? I know you got stopped the other night on the interstate. You said that you had been talking to people and trying to find her. Can you tell me who all you've talked to so that I can try to follow up with all that?
I might continue to get in trouble what I got going on.
What do you got going on? Something's weighing on you hard, ain't it?
You know. Then I feel like it's about to be more than what they know.
Well, who knows more than what they know? Who is that person? Point me the right way, Reggie.
I think maybe she was playing or something.
Well, tell me what you think happened to her.
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe she's playing and going somewhere and leave somewhere with somebody and then come back.
What makes you think that?
Yeah, I found out that she take off a couple times. I've never known that.
Who would she go off with? I need to know.
After the press conference on the 23rd, he starts the conversation, but then he starts to shut down. He starts to be emotional. He walks out into the hallway. He tries to stall.
You said you finna get in a whole lot of trouble. What's that about? Maybe I can help you with it.
Speak. Yeah, not do that. I don't know. I ain't talking no more. I let go now. I'm done talking.
Well, when can we talk again when you get yourself together?
Okay.
What's wrong, Reggie? Whatever it is, you get it off your chest. I guarantee you're gonna feel better. You said somebody knows something, you're gonna get in trouble. What is that?
He literally sits down in the hallway and cries, and he doesn't know what to say at this point.
I ain't gonna give up, and I'm gonna prosecute whoever's involved with it.
Reggie, you want to talk to me? No? Okay. Can you give me a few minutes of your time?
Whatever I mean. If they're holding on the case and we don't have nothing to do with this case.
Is somebody threatening you?
Don't worry about threats.
One of the biggest takeaways from that interaction that day was a statement that he makes right before he walks out of the sheriff's office.
I'm here working for you, okay? I'm working for your fiance, for your future wife. If you get yourself in a bind and we find her, okay, and she's well and good, and we bring her home to you, or you bring her home, I want you to be home with her. I want you to stay home. But if you don't let us help you, that's not going to happen. Let's work together on this, Reggie.
You have to make sure they don't hit with those people upset.
Listen, hold on. Don't, Reggie. Listen to me. We're having a good conversation. Huh?
While this statement is not a confession, it is an admission. You know, you don't tell law enforcement, hey, don't hit me with premeditation unless you've done something that they could interpret that you had planned out.
Okay, you might be thinking, clearly, Reggie's involved, right? There's something about this guy that's not adding up. But just when it seems like it's obvious, detectives take a step back and another name enters the picture. And that shifts this case in a different direction.
Something I'm gonna be in trouble for? Like, I mean, is there anything I could be in trouble for?
If you're involved in her disappearance or death in any way.
Real quick, I know this is a 180, but I gotta call out this sponsor who I think you're gonna love, help make this episode possible. Upside. This app, it gets you cash back, extra cash back on everyday purchases like gas, groceries, takeout. So here's what you do. You download Upside for free. You claim an offer at one of their 100,000 plus locations. You pay like normal with your card. You verify the purchase, and just like that, money back. So say I need to get gas or I want takeout one night, I'll search for Upside offers first, and after I spend, money appears in my app that I can transfer right into my bank account. And by the way, Upside's frequent users, they earn an average of $254 back a year. So to start getting your cash back, click the link in the description or scan the QR code, but make sure to use promo code PRIMECRIME because you'll get an extra 25 cents bonus on every gallon on your first tank of gas. Law enforcement widens the scope of this investigation. Yes, they keep an open mind, but they're starting to consider maybe we'll look at somebody past Reginald Robertson. Maybe someone else had something to do with Tiffany's disappearance. And this is when a new name comes up, a neighbor, Jeremy Walker, somebody who has a prior criminal history, but no obvious connection to this case.
Jeremy was made aware of to us by members of her family and neighbors in the apartment complex that knew who he was, knew the relationship that he and Reggie had. He was kind of a neighborhood mechanic. He worked on cars, operating out of his garage, and he lived in very close proximity. Same complex, just one building across and over.
How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm good.
Do you want to talk inside?
I mean, you can. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Jeremy Walker, he kind of developed a friendship with Reginald. They struck up a friendship about cars and maintaining cars. He is also not unfamiliar with criminal activity. He had some criminal history from out of state.
Hey, what's going on? Like,
what?
You know, just keeping it honest with you, man.
Long story short, this case is getting out of control real quick. Yeah, she's been gone a real long time.
Yeah, and it's scary, though. You know what I mean?
All the flags and all the data and all the everything that I've ever dealt with in a 30-year career doing this will tell me she's most likely dead.
Man, I hope not.
They really looked into, is it possible that Jeremy did something to Tiffany and he is kind of the main person here.
He was talked to multiple times, and initially he dismissed anything. He just hoped that she was okay, and if he could tell us anything, he would.
I have no knowledge of her disappearance at all, though.
What has Reggie told you?
Reggie told me.
What did Reggie
He told me
tell
that he was in there using the bathroom and he was on the phone with her mom and she went out. That was it. They haven't seen him since.
But eventually that story finally changed. In his living room one day, he finally cracked.
Did you help him move that car?
I tried to get the car off with, you know.
What car?
I can't remember which one.
Where did you drop it off at?
Up by Atlantic. You know what I mean? I didn't know until I just remembered
The Nissan Altima?
I'm pretty sure it is. Am I in any trouble, brother?
Jeremy's a talker. He likes to talk about himself. He plays dumb. And he kind of comes across as this guy who may not be very smart. And here's what he admits to. It's very simple, it's very clean. It's the only thing he admits to. Reggie asked for my help to move her car, and I did it. I don't know anything more.
That's really when everything kind of really took a turn and started ramping up. We believe that he had more information to give. We obviously know he's been complicit in the moving of her vehicle after she's reported missing. He alleges he didn't know she was missing. There were some things that were clearly suspicious about this whole encounter.
I didn't know she was missing at that point at all.
Why did he want to take the car to Atlanta?
I have no clue why he had to. He didn't tell me. He just asked me if I followed him. That was it, man.
He claims that he does not know what happened to her, to us. Now, that is not what we have been told that he has said to other people. That is not what his own family has told us. He has basically had a number of conflicting stories as well in terms of what he did or did not know.
I got a patrol unit coming by, and I'm gonna take you down to the office, and you're gonna make me a written statement about what went on today.
Man, dude.
And you drove the car. Atlanta, he drove the tornado.
Okay. Well, we need to go get Reggie. We need to pick him up.
He's scared to death, man.
Oh yeah. I knew it. We got him. Good job. Got his ass. I knew he was on the right track.
When you and Reggie be talking sometime, does he ever mention her cheating on him?
Yo, I've never seen him angry. He's a strange bird, man. I can't tell you that I've ever seen him happy, mad, sad, glad. He's always even keeled.
Right now, we definitely appreciate everything you tell us, okay? 100% appreciate it. I'm telling you, as a man, straight up. What I don't want to happen is that Reggie comes in here and tells a slightly different story.
Honestly, I don't know what happened to the woman. More than likely, you're right. She's probably dead somewhere.
What I want, Jeremy, is pretty simple. All I'm after in this whole thing is the truth.
Back at the sheriff's office, detectives are working to get more information out of Jeremy Walker. But at the same time, investigators are also trying to track down Reginald Robertson with an arrest warrant in hand.
The investigator at the time actually took charges on Reggie for theft of her vehicle once it was located and once we were able to substantiate that it was he that had moved it.
What's going on? I know they brought you here. I know they said something about the car is stolen, whatever, so I'm trying to find out what's happening. All right, now he's saying that Jeremy said that I said that we took the car up that road. Yes. I said, let's go right. Go look at that camera. I bet you want to see me on that because I didn't see no that road.
Jeremy's already said, I moved the car at Reggie's request. Well, he's also said they were together. So law enforcement gets that little piece of information to go back and then talk to Reggie. They may choose to say, hey, you told us that you weren't there, right? Well, what about the fact that your friend, your neighbor just threw you under the bus and said you were together and this is what you did?
Let's go back to Nissan real quick. Do you also have a key to the car? Yes, I got a key to the car. What? Where's the key to the car? What does it matter about where the key is? Well, we have the car, and if you have a key, we'd like to get a key so we can move it.
You don't charge me for receiving stolen property. That's some that Jeremy said that we did or whatever. I know they behind on their rent and a drug addict. You know what I'm saying?
So what Reggie does is he turns around and throws Jeremy under the bus.
Law enforcement were able to, through the phone evidence and kind of Google evidence, they were able to find some digital data that confirmed the story that Jeremy gave them as far as Tiffany's car being moved.
When Jeremy describes how this encounter happens with this vehicle, it is fully supported by the video. He says that they dropped it off, where they dropped it off. He also says that once they drop it off, they actually leave, and a few minutes later that they go back to the vehicle. So we know that he's being honest because he hasn't seen this video and he's telling us exactly what happened.
Jeremy gonna charge me. I'm through with it. I'm through with it. You know what I'm saying? Jeremy come this bull. Jeremy, I know I haven't been to Guyver Road. If you look at that camera, it's not gonna be me on that camera, no Guyver Road. Cameron got me. Cameron got me on that because I haven't not been to no Guyver Road.
Have you been?
I was at the damn house. They're charged. You know what I'm saying? This is real. I'm getting charged for a vehicle that we got together.
Investigators have at least a little to go on regarding Reginald's involvement in Tiffany's disappearance, but there's not enough evidence to suggest he did something to her, right? There's evidence to suggest he moved her car, but is there anything more? Meanwhile, Jeremy Walker's not fully cooperating, and this is creating doubt that he's giving detectives all the truthful details.
One of the reasons why we're back too is to let you know that Reggie's in jail, and the other reason is that Reggie's telling a slightly different story than you are. Would you stand up in court and testify to that? Like that's what happened that night.
I don't want to be viewed as that.
Part of the problem is now you were there.
You're a witness in my case. And if he calls and threatens or tries to intimidate you in any way, let me know, especially if you get it recorded.
Yes.
And I will put him right back in jail.
My biggest fear is coming out of that garage and shooting me in my back.
So he was charged with the theft of her vehicle. That charge was ultimately dismissed by magistrate. Reggie now realizes, well, Jeremy's done flipped on me. So he leaves the jail and goes straight to Jeremy Walker's apartment to confront him. He's then immediately rearrested for loitering and prowling. He makes bond on that charge with an ankle monitor. These are steps that are being taken to try to keep him in the investigation and try to glean as much information as possible while we are able to utilize crimes that we can actually prove.
This case gets even more complicated when detectives learn about another incident months before Tiffany disappeared.
You are scaring me!
No one's available Central Zone units. Respond to the area of 611 Lower Fayetteville Road, reference to a possible dispute. Yeah, hang up call.
Hey, how are you, ma'am? Are you okay?
Yeah.
What's going on? Which one of y'all called 911?
Don't accident. You are scaring me! You're scaring me, Reggie!
County 911 operator 65, where's your emergency?
You are scaring me!
Hello?
You gotta go!
County 911.
Oh,
County 911, do you hear me?
Tiffany's best friend, she was the one that brought up the kidnapping that we had no knowledge of. We hear this story about Reggie took her to a house, he shot at her, he tied her up and things of that nature. We don't know where it happened. We don't know when it happened.
No one's available Central Zone units. Respond to the area of 611 Lower Fayetteville Road, reference to a possible dispute. Yeah, hang up call. Female can be heard crying, screaming.
Hello?
Yes, this is Coweta County 911. We had a hang-up call from this number. Is everything okay?
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. I was sitting at her with the phone messing with it.
You were messing with the phone?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Just be advised, we did get a male caller back on the line. He stated that he dialed accidentally. We couldn't no longer hear the female.
So it just had a Chrysler pull out from that abandoned house. On a spot forward. This is going to be that dispute, I believe.
She does tell us, though, that the cops got called and they got pulled over. And so obviously that sounds very strange to us because we're like, okay, if this was some type of kidnapping or some big incident and they were caught, why can we not find a report?
Later in the investigation, law enforcement said, well, let's figure out exactly where that is. Maybe she was taken there a second time. And so they were able to look back through reports and 911 calls and find the actual incident, which was November 13th of 2020.
Hey, how are you, ma'am? Are you okay?
Yeah.
What's going on? Tiffany, come on. So tell me what's going on. We're just trying to figure out everything, okay?
I can't say nothing. I can't.
Why can't you say anything?
He'll kill me if I say anything.
That incident occurred in the jurisdiction of Noonan PD, but even they didn't have the context of what was going on at the time. We literally had to go through calls, incidents, traffic stops, everything we could find, and literally weeding out tag numbers, phone numbers, and trying to find literally a needle in a haystack.
It's a vacant house, an abandoned house in here in Coweta County, and he got her into the house. There was a recliner in the house. She was somehow zip-tied, restrained inside of that chair. He then menaced her with a handgun.
What do you mean he'll kill you?
Okay, my wife.
How do you know him?
We're dating.
I caught her red-handed with the guy.
Okay.
Cheating and stuff, and talking about how he was fucking and stuff going on and stuff.
Okay.
Right, you cheating, how did you do this? And then you work at the prison, you shooting stuff in the prison to the man. So I pulled in, I'm like, man, you know what? I said, let's go back to the house, you'll see. I said, we're gonna go back to the house. You know what I'm saying? So when I whipped in the driveway, turn around and come on back out, she's like, nah. I guess you did, you a lot.
Tiffany was obviously distraught. She told law enforcement that she couldn't tell them anything because he would kill her. He is talking to the officers and is telling them that he caught her cheating on him. She refuses to tell them what happens there on the scene. They do a cursory search of the vehicle and they don't find a firearm. There on the side of the road with her unwillingness to cooperate, they felt like they didn't have probable cause to make an arrest. Unfortunately, they were released from the scene together.
A Coweta County mother of 3 remains missing, and her fiancé is now behind bars for the second time in just weeks. Tiffany Foster's fiancé, Reginald Robertson, was taken into custody last night. So far, Robertson has not been charged with his fiancé's disappearance. However, authorities have charged him with kidnapping and aggravated assault. They say those charges stem from an incident before the 35-year-old Foster was reported missing.
So Robertson is now back in jail under this kidnapping charge. This is related to the November incident, and this is now inching the case closer to an arrest for her disappearance.
You remember that incident where you took Tiffany to the vacant house that we talked about? So you told me you blindfolded us. I found the house. It's on the shell case. Found everything, found the video where y'all got stopped coming out of there. So I sent in there. That's a 911 call. Okay, but we both know what this is about.
We were able to find receipts even from Home Depot for the types of cable ties and zip ties, which were later found in the abandoned house that were purchased the day before she was kidnapped and taken to that abandoned house.
I didn't kidnap nobody. So that's why we go to court. What I want to know what took you. I haven't kidnapped nobody. And aggravated assault. I didn't put my hands on her.
Boy, you shot the gun at her.
I didn't shot the gun at her.
Where's she at?
I don't know.
You know what happened to her? You're going to end up going down as a cold-hearted killer.
I don't know. A killer? I didn't kill no one.
Once he was held without a bond on those charges and indicted on those charges, law enforcement was working their investigation to try and find her.
I'm pretty sure she would have told the police that he kidnapped me, he did this and that or whatever.
No, what she said was, I can't talk, he'll kill me.
No, she did. In that case, they should lock me up right there then.
I agree.
If that was the case.
I agree.
But I had kidnapped her.
I believe I can prove you did. And I believe you did it again.
Now we have body camera footage of this traffic stop. It's very painful to watch, hindsight being what it is, seeing the circumstances.
I can just only imagine her, like I said, of mine during that time, or the feelings she was kind of enduring. It's kind of like saddening to think that, okay, well, you had all this other stuff going on and you didn't feel comfortable to tell nobody that loves you and cares for you. And
I gave him a lecture when I met him about, my daughter. I told him, if you're not satisfied with her, I said, do not put your hands on her, just leave her. And this is what he turned around and do.
Tiffany's mother, Katrina Hill, even tells police that Robertson told her about what happened that night months before Tiffany disappeared, something she didn't fully believe.
The kidnapping obviously completely changed the trajectory of this investigation. It is what ultimately allowed us to get him into custody.
I have a search warrant for your DNA, Reggie. Need you to open your mouth.
How I do it in front of my attorney?
Nope, doesn't work that way. Open your mouth. I'm done being nice about it. Have a seat.
Mama, oh.
His demeanor and his involvement in conversations obviously was greatly reduced at that point.
Right now, 250 people are reported missing here in the state of Georgia. Among those missing persons, Tiffany Foster. Tiffany Foster has been missing for more than 6 months.
It was an emotional time for kind of everybody to kind of still try to go day to day and then not knowing anything. And then it's like you're waiting for next week's episode and but you're in it. Like, and it's your real life. It's not, it's not a show. Nobody wrote it.
So now he's charged with kidnapping, and that was what he was ultimately in jail for up until 2023.
Months turn into years. This case essentially goes silent. Reginald Robertson is serving time on those other charges, not yet convicted. He's still not even charged directly with Tiffany's disappearance. At this point, it's still just a missing persons case.
Maybe a couple of months later, a new detective was assigned to her case. He said, let me do my thing and I'll keep you informed. It was a blessing and I was grateful, that he had put his heart into, helping us, locate Tiffany to find out what was going on. And he did just that. Because he had told me, don't worry about it. He said, he said, I might not sleep days, I might not eat or whatever, but he said this case means a lot to him, and he went to work.
From the time that I was brought in on this case, there had been some frustrations by upper management and the higher ups at the sheriff's office and in the investigations division with the lack of movement on the case. I literally had to start this case over as though it had just happened, where I took a couple of banker's boxes full of documents and CDs and flash drives full of evidence of video and of body camera footage and cell phone data extractions and tower dumps and social media returns. To get it all together and form this picture was really an overwhelming task. My name is Stacy. I work here for the sheriff's office. The only thing I want to talk with you about is your missing fiance. That's it.
Every time I talk to you guys, I end up worse the situation I am, and I ain't even did. I'm scared to talk to y'all anymore. I'm already thank you for your time. Everything that y'all got this race. I can.
You just cannot fully understand how confusing this web was to follow initially, but when you take out the unknowns, I can put together a timeline of what I can prove. Reggie's phone was, in my opinion, that was the gold mine that really put everything into perspective.
Tiffany's cell phone was never recovered, so we were able to see her communications through his cell phone. He would send her these voice memos.
I don't know how I keep managing it, but I keep holding my cool with your man. But at some point, it's gonna be a breaking point. You keep poking me and poking me and poking what you think gonna happen.
Reggie was clever in deleting messages that he had sent between he and Tiffany. He did not delete the audio files, which were stored somewhere else.
The way you carrying on, come on, Tip. If you ain't you damn sure talking about.
Now, by the way, if you're watching this and you're into content creation or you're putting things out on social media, you might be wondering, how do we get all of these clips out there on Law&Crime so quickly? Well, we use something called Opus Clip. This is an all-in-one AI editor that makes it so easy to cut, create, and upload videos across any platform. Through AI, Opus Clip generates B-roll, it reframes footage, and it even cleans up audio. It is so easy. You just visit opus.pro/primecrime. You sign up, you upload, and in minutes you will have perfectly edited clips ready to go. For TikTok, Shorts, Reels, Opus Clip is really your one-stop shop. And having a tool like Opus Clip means that our producers can get you viral courtroom updates instantly. This is the most powerful tool there is to share ideas and edit like a pro. So go to opus.pro/primecrime to get a free week and then 50% off.
I decided I want to ride down here. I don't know if Robert still stay in the same spot. But if you had been over there, it was gonna be some real ugly shit. I ain't got time for these games. The I did, it ain't compared to what you've been had going on.
We were able to look back at some of those messages around the time of the kidnapping incident, and kind of in the interim, as he starts to realize she's going to leave and that she might actually be serious this time. He love bombs her and is trying to convince her of, you know, the rightness of their relationship, and she's just not, she's not there for it.
I don't know where we headed right now. I'm really not even focused on this relationship. I'm just pretty much trying to get all my together so that in the event that we don't make it, I'm not stuck.
But I do feel as if something's going on. That's why I keep asking you, what's going on with you? Talk to me. It may not be nothing going on with anyone else with you. If anything happens, or if you end up sleeping with somebody else, saying that, well, Reggie, you don't pay me no attention, you don't come on to me. Just don't do that. Please don't do that.
I'm not going to stick around forever wasting my time.
You don't understand how much I love you and how much I've been in love. Never been in love like this before. This relationship is toxic. It's toxic because of you making it toxic. When I apologize to you for taking it like that other night, because I said I realized it really did send you somewhere. Well, you know what I'm saying? Now, you say rape, okay, rape.
That's where law enforcement learned that he had raped her just prior to her disappearance, because they actually were able to see where she texted him, you know, the following morning and said, I told you no, you took it anyway.
Rape is when you take unwilling, and I even told you, no, I'm calling it what it is. Yes, it was rape. Okay, I raped her.
He admitted to Tiffany that he had raped her. Well, that's a confession.
The additional charges of rape and murder and the financial transaction card frauds and thefts and such that was added to him in 2023 once we really start to piece everything together.
So many things had to come together to get to this point in 2023, years after Tiffany disappeared.
We know that he's in possession of her vehicle after she's reported missing. You know, we have his own family who has seen him in this vehicle. We have some of those family members who are terrified of this man. We know that he does not report her missing. We are able to basically poke holes into each aspect of his story. She completely disappeared from the face of the earth, doesn't have any activity on her credit reports. Every account, every bit of activity ceased in February, March 2021. You can't disappear to that degree.
The case comes back around to Jeremy Walker and what his actual involvement was in Tiffany's disappearance.
Jeremy and Reggie, they were seen on video at an ATM machine using Tiffany's card. That's bad news. We also learned that Jeremy was with Reggie going to hardware stores buying a shovel and bolt cutters.
Jeremy Walker, he was involved in making calls regarding wood chippers and tools and, you know, and getting some of the means and mechanisms that we believe Reginald used to, you know, in part conceal Tiffany's body. He was obviously involved in the taking and moving of Tiffany's car. He was certainly involved, but there was absolutely no evidence that he thought it up or that he acted alone. That was 100% Reginald's role.
According to him, she was talking to other men and communicating with other men, and he was jealous. He intimated that there was infidelity on her part and that was a problem in the relationship. And in his mind, Reggie's mind is probably thinking, well, if I paint this picture and anything happens to her, it's going to be easy for people to believe she ran off or she's with some other man. She just disappeared. No big deal, nothing to see here, move along.
We also had a great number of people come forward in the jail. They volunteered to talk to us to say, hey, I'm in the pod with this guy, this is what he told me. All of them had the same common denominator: she was dead and she wasn't coming back. We had all the elements of these crimes here, including murder, even though we did not have her body.
Reginald Robertson is officially hit with 10 counts of criminal charges. He is facing a possible life sentence if convicted. As for Jeremy Walker, he's facing his own charges of concealing the death of another and theft. Years after Tiffany's disappearance, the trial for both of these men begins. Now, no cameras in the courtroom.
Been in the courtroom, I was nervous. Coweta County Sheriff Office did do their job. I was, overwhelmed, and was grateful and happy about, they finally got him, because he feels that he's a mastermind.
100%, I mean, without question, hands down, the most complex case I have ever tried. We went into the case not having any doubt that the jury would believe Tiffany was deceased. You never know for sure if they're going to believe that he killed her. Reginald's half-brother came in and testified. He was able to unequivocally tell the jury that within days of her disappearance, Reginald was driving her car around. Reginald looked him dead in the eye and said, she's never coming back. And the jury got to hear that.
I have to say there's a weird twist to this, because early on in the investigation, detectives learned from Robertson's half-brother that his own mother was killed when he was young, that she got into some sort of altercation with a woman and she ended up getting stabbed.
I think we all kind of agree that it's just not likely that he could have killed her in the apartment and then gotten her body into her vehicle without being seen by anybody. But as far as how she was killed, I don't know. There have been times in talking with his cousin, he tells his cousin that he shot her.
Robertson's cousin testifies that Robertson allegedly confided in him, confessed to him that he tased Tiffany until she fell unconscious, taped her up, drove her to an undisclosed location, and then shot her in the head with her own gun.
What hit me the hardest and really broke me down was when Reggie's cousin got on the stand and he told us what Reggie told him he had did to Tiffany. And when that man was talking, I could feel it through me. And I was like, this man is not lying.
This really was a totality of the circumstances situation. In the early stages of the investigation, you have to go down every possible rabbit hole. There does come a point where you can say, okay, now it's just not reasonable to believe anything else other than he killed her. And starting with the Lower Fayetteville Road incident and with everything that built after that and all the evidence that was compiled together, that's the only logical conclusion.
Defense counsel argued there just wasn't enough evidence to prove Robertson's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, that he was allowed to use her car and her debit card, that there was no proof of the government's theory that a wood chipper was used to dispose of a body, and that there were no witnesses connecting Walker to Tiffany's disappearance.
This prosecution team was well prepared with the right evidence to present all of this evidence to a jury for 2 weeks to ask that he be convicted on all of these charges.
Following that 2 weeks of testimony and more than 50 witnesses taking the stand, and given the overwhelming amount of circumstantial evidence in this case, it takes this jury just 6 hours to come back with a decision.
As the defendant, Reginald Robertson, count 1, kidnapping. Count 2, burglary in the first degree. Count 3, aggravated assault. Count 4, false imprisonment. Count 5, rape. Count 6, malice murder. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty. Count 7, concealing the death of another. Count 8, financial transaction card fraud. Count 9, theft by taking. And count 10, forgery in the first degree. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty. As the defendant Walker in concealing the death of another, we the jury find the defendant not guilty. Theft by taking, we the jury find the defendant guilty.
It was really like nerve-wracking. My anxiety was through the roof. Like the courtroom was like quiet. It was like a real intense situation. Like you can literally cut it with a knife, and then trying to keep your composure through all the counts. And so just hearing those words, finally feeling like she got her voice back.
I wanted to weep, to be perfectly honest. When the jury verdict came in, you know, the sense of relief and vindication in the belief that we had about this case and about this investigation is really overwhelming. Being able to hug Katrina at the end of that trial, knowing that if nothing else, the person who hurt her child is going to spend the rest of his life in a cage. You know, that at least is something.
After 4 years of unanswered questions, Reginald Robertson is found guilty on all 10 charges, including murder. And meanwhile, Jeremy Walker, he's also found guilty of a lesser charge for his role in helping to abandon Tiffany's car in this Atlanta parking lot. Now, the jurors who spoke with the media after this closed-door trial, they said that it was Robertson's behavior in court that helped guide their decision, that he allegedly even stared them down in court, which apparently left them unsettled.
If the defendant will rise under the sentence on the count of theft by taking to serve 10 years in state penitentiary. Anything you want to say, Mr. Coppers? Then on count 1, I'm going to sentence you to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Jeremy Walker is sentenced to 10 years in prison, and Reginald Robertson is sentenced to 3 consecutive life terms without the possibility of parole, plus 80 years.
This has been a very trying time for me and my family. He didn't just take away a sister, he took away a mother and a daughter and a aunt. To go these 4 years not knowing where she was, is, it's like a cloud has been lifted off of us today. Our prayers have been answered.
I'm Tiffany's oldest son. I basically had to go 4 years growing up without my mother. I'm not really happy about the verdict. I would be more happier knowing where my mom is.
We are close in terms of finding where she is, but that we've even been told that you know, Reggie will go as far as to eat a body to make sure that law enforcement doesn't locate it. So, you know, it's one of those scenarios where we're never going to stop looking.
I don't think that there's any likelihood that Reginald is ever going to tell anybody, because I firmly believe for him, this is all about power and control, and knowing where she is, knowing exactly what happened to her is the last bit of control that he has over her.
Give people grace sometimes and be aware. A lot of stuff that I see nowadays, including with my sister's story, I feel like people aren't aware, you know, being, like I said, intentional, knowing who you're speaking with, knowing about the person, you know, and then no one wants to be in anyone's business anymore. It's okay to be in the business because it could save your life.
We want everyone to know that Tiffany is still missing. And if anyone know, heard, or say, or see something, they need to contact law enforcement. You know, I want closure, and to me that would be closure to lay my eyes on my child. And I know we're gonna find her and bring her home. It's just, you know, it's on God's time, and so we're gonna bring her home.